Hey guys, Travis from Slam Pigs Podcast. We had some technical difficulties recording this show. They can't all be perfect. And I feel really bad. We had a guest on. His name is Steven. So apologies go out to Steven. Obviously we can't control the weather. We'll try to have you on in the future. But guys, here's the rest of the footage from the previous week's Slam Pigs Podcast. Enjoy.
Mean Gene Okerlund back with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Family members falling like the Berlin Wall. Bobby Heenan, I find that you're tougher to get along than a mother-in-law on a weekend visit to my house.
Don't you concern yourself about getting along with me. I'm the easiest guy in the world to get along with. But when you're 540 pounds and you're 7 feet 4 and it takes 2.5 hours for the blood to reach the brain, you don't think real white,
Wait
right?
a minute, Bobby Heenan, where do you have the nerve to hit Andre the Giant in the face?
Well, I'll tell you where I got the nerve to hit Andre in the face. You take orders from me. I'm the head of the family. You listen to me, you go to the top. You don't listen to me, you're never heard from again. You have just committed, pal.
What, are you lost for words for the first time?
No, I'm not.
You are.
We've lost the championship because he stood on the apron, wouldn't get in the ring, wouldn't help Haku. Haku had to carry the load. Is he lazy? Is he incompetent? What? I'm through with him.
Don't air out.
I'm starting a new family. I'm bringing in new members. Ones that will listen.
All right.
Ones that will care.
Let's go back to Jesse.
And that was Bobby the Brain Heenan, live here on the Slam Pigs Podcast. You listened to him, you went to the top. You didn't? Never heard from again.
Never heard from again.
Never. Hey, Stu, wake up.
Hey, you got 9 months and you come up with Bruce. Man, one of the greatest manager of all
My
time.
idol.
I can't believe 18 episodes later we finally have a Bobby Heenan promo. What is wrong? We had Waylon Mercy for Christ's
You know how
sake.
many of our listeners compare me to him? And it just took me till now to mention a promo for him. It's crazy.
Huh. Maybe I'll do a Gorilla promo now.
Yeah, you remind me of Gorilla. I mean, not, like,
Not
physically.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think you're fat and old and stuff, but...
Well, let's get into this week's news, Michael. Got a couple big things going on, actually. Kurt Angle in talks, apparently, according to old Tuna Meltzer himself. From Meltzer's...
I believe I broke this news a couple weeks ago, so Tuna Meltzer's way behind.
Yeah. Well, Tuna Meltzer's actually denying it now.
Oh.
Tuna Meltzer's saying there's been no negotiations with Angle and WWE. Kurt Angle's saying, yes, there has. So maybe there's
Who
smoking.
do you believe? I know you love you some Tuna Meltzer.
That's a tough call. Who to believe in.
I've never known Kurt Angle to be a liar.
I've known him to have DUIs and have a pill problem.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
doesn't make him a liar.
I didn't say
Jesus,
I don't know.
Judge much?
It's interesting now. Like it's been in the news, kind of like you said. We talked about it in episode 2 maybe.
Yeah,
but we're still hearing about it now in full force again.
I've brought it back up a couple times since then.
And if you bring him back, I think how I bring him back, make him a GM of SmackDown again, or put him with Jordan and Gable as like their mentor.
You could see that happening, or
You can't have him as a full time.
I could see him coming back and working Styles
for a one shot.
You know what I mean?
You can't do a full schedule. No way. His neck will not hold.
Or I could see him coming back and working Cena.
They actually had alright matches early in Cena's career as champion.
You know, I could see him working with almost anybody. You know, when people say they're the man and stuff like that, and you know, you could have him and Jericho in there. You know, whatever. You know, because Jericho, I'm the best in the world at what I do and all that stuff. Or I'd love to see him work with Brock again.
Oh yeah.
Just because.
Would Angle live though if they had that match?
I mean,
Brock, they both came out of that match concussed the last time.
Well, I guess all those Germans. He takes them to Suplex City. That's probably not good for his neck.
All those shooting star presses that are botched.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that would be like my booking of that. I couldn't see him coming back and working like Ambrose or anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would have to be with certain people.
Yeah, it couldn't be someone like Reigns or... What if it was Reigns?
Because contrary to popular belief, I think Kurt Angle's one of the biggest stars ever in this business. You can't bring him back and not have him work with a major star. Or you could see, I mean, another one that could be obvious to bring up, working with Triple H. You know what I mean?
I don't want to see that.
You know, do it at WrestleMania or working with The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Rock.
You know, I could see that too. Yeah, they had some good matches. They had some good matches.
Triple H has a stink on him still from the Reign of Terror days. You know what I mean? At least to me.
I still think he's a good worker.
I think
For
it's
somebody that
so
works,
overrated.
For somebody that works part-time, I mean, I think his work's still pretty good.
Well, who knows what he does behind the scenes as far as training.
There's also a rumor that he's going to be working Seth Rollins at SummerSlam.
Huh.
I've been reading that too. That's one of the rumored matches for SummerSlam, him and Rollins to finally finish off. Because I think what they're going to do here, if you noticed on Raw, Stephanie was kind of taking Seth's side on a lot of this, with the hating of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And, I see what Seth's saying here. You bring back, hey, Seth, you couldn't win the big one. I'm back to help you. That kind of story angle. And Seth's like, I don't need you anymore.
I gave you my move.
Yeah, pedigree versus pedigree.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the rumors that I heard. I think that'd be a good match.
It would be a good match.
You put Triple H in there with somebody that's going to make him look good.
Yep. How about Triple H and Sting at WrestleMania? Yeah.
That wasn't great, but Sting had never worked, in WWE before.
Well, what would you do with Kurt Angle if he came back? Would you put him with Jordan Gable?
Well, that's what we were just talking about. I could only see him working with certain people. They'd have to be big stars. I wouldn't bring him back as a manager. I think that's kind of...
No, not strictly a manager. He gets physical if he has to.
You want to make him like the
not a little
greatest
pussy
tag
runaway. Kinda, yeah. I love World's Greatest Tag Team when it first started.
T-Bagel.
I thought it was awesome. 3 little Kurts.
Did you like the 3 little edges?
No, I did not.
He didn't like Kurt Hawkins?
I did not like Zack Ryder and Hawkins.
The Broski used to be an edgeaholic.
With long, flowing locks.
Yes.
But that's the news about Kurt Angle.
What do you guys think?
What do you let us know in the comments down below?
Let us know how you would book Kurt Angle in his return to WWE if it happens.
We do have a question this week. One of your favorites, Michael. The lovely Sasha Janine. Back in the house.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Sasha. Thank you so much once again for all your cool questions and positive feedback for the show. Her question is, who do we think is going to win the upcoming Cruiserweight Classic tournament?
Well, she asked who we think should get put over.
So same fucking thing.
Travis, I'm going to swing it to you because this is a hard one. There's a lot of contenders in this one.
I feel like I know more of the guys in it.
You do, but I mean, I still feel like there's going to be at least 4 or 5 guys that could win this.
Well, Tajiri's in it.
Yes. My pick.
That's your pick. Brian Kendrick. Those are the 2 former WWE guys in it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
As far as WWE guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Crazy.
The rest are indie guys. This has never been done before.
No Jushin?
Dude, no, that's surprising because he was in NXT not too long ago.
No Hoovy Juice?
Will you stop?
Just saying.
I'll have you thrown out of here in a second.
What about Dean Malenko?
What about him? He's an agent. He's wearing flannel shirts and telling guys what to do.
Maybe he could have been in it.
He's coaching football
Jamie Noble could have been in it.
Jamie Noble could have been in it. See? When you have a point, you have a point, and I'll let you know it. You have a point. Jamie Noble was an underrated little worker.
He was a good cruiserweight.
He had Smoking Hot Nydia with him.
Yeah.
When he was a little hillbilly.
Made no sense. You put a hillbilly with a Spanish chick or black chick or whatever she was.
She was Nydia. I don't know what she was.
I don't know what ethnicity. She was mixed with a bunch of good stuff.
Jamie Noble's like, hey man, I'm Jamie Noble.
I'm Jamie Noble, and I'm Cruiserweight Champion, and I like cowboy hats.
Shout out to Jamie Noble. What did you guys think of Jamie Noble?
Let us know down in the comment section.
The last time Jamie Noble was seen, was he thrown against the car by Brock?
If you don't know Jamie Noble, like it.
Yeah, the authority. From what I've seen, you got to have Zack Sabre Jr. has got to be one of your top favorites. I really like this dude, Tyson Dukes. He looks pretty good. Of course, Cedric Alexander, who left Ring of Honor. There is some talk, actually. He's not in the tournament. Do you know Roderick Strong from Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be coming to NXT. That was actually...
Wasn't he?
He had his last Ring of Honor match.
He wasn't just in Ring of Honor, though, was he?
He was in TNA
I remember him in TNA.
For a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I remember him in TNA.
Yeah, with the Aries, I think. They were a tag team.
Where's Elix Skipper?
You love some Elix Skipper. Maybe just for you, I'll throw it to a primetime promo on my break.
Well, I didn't say I liked his promo.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
When I think Elix Skipper, the first thing... We're going way off topic, guys. Sorry. We'll get right back to your question, Sasha, but you sparked a great conversation. I think of him walking on the cage in TNA and doing his little hurricane on it.
I loved it.
Yes. What just happened?
I loved it. Loved me some Skippies.
He talked weird though.
What do you mean?
Hi, me like Skipper. I don't know. If you see his promo, you know what I'm talking about.
They just had the BET Awards the other night, Travis. Are you saying he talked weird because he's black?
But yeah, Sasha, I think... No, I'm not. Will you stop?
Tiptoed around the question like a 7-year-old girl.
Will you give me my phone and get security over here, please? Don't you want to know why?
Sure don't.
Well, it's because I still have you thrown out of here in a second.
All right.
This isn't racial. Elix Skipper talked weird. Moving on to the lovely Sasha's question.
All right.
I like Zack Sabre Jr. I think he's got the most momentum going into it. I like Tajiri too. He's a personal favorite.
Why does Zack Sabre Jr. have the most momentum?
He's kind of like the shining star on the Indies right now. Kind of like Bryan Danielson was back in the day. Kind of like he's considered the best technical. He has that.
Okay.
I don't know. He's just. I don't think I'd put him over, but I think that's who they're going to put over.
Well, my pick's Shelton Benjamin.
By the way, he's from England. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trying to get brownie points.
What? No, I'm trying to get you fired up. I haven't seen any Ricky Morton fire. I know you had to hold back at the beginning of the show because I know we like to treat our guests politely. Your face is turning red like brother love.
Well, he cut me off. You don't cut me off.
Once again, Steven, sorry about technical difficulties. We'll try to have you on in the future, man. There's a bad storm here. There's shitty connection issues.
He tried to blame it on me.
Will you stop? I'm not going to tell you again.
You have something to do with that poor connection, Michael, because he cut you off?
Huh.
That's what you said.
I didn't say that at all.
You did.
You misfired.
You said it.
You fire that fucking pigskin directly in the right direction of what I said. But yeah, I like Zack Sabre Jr. Michael, you fuck it, pick Tajiri.
I'm watching Wimbledon right now for all you people that are
you can watch Wimbledon, but you can't check out the participants for a question. You got to be prepared. You don't need to know about Pete Sampras.
You know what I love about Wimbledon? It's when their Brits get in that tournament and they fucking lose.
They get pissed. Yeah.
You've had one champ in the last 80 years in that tournament. That's Andy Murray, who's actually a really good player.
Do you think they're used to it by now?
Yeah, I mean, a little shout out to England. Way to go against Iceland there in the Euro Cup. Good job.
Is there a top spin game for PS4, a new one?
Yeah, probably.
Shout out to the PS4. I've been enjoying my first week owning a PS4, Michael. A little off topic, but kind of not, because this is a weird segue. On Hibiki TMD, guys, my 50th game review is coming up, and as decided off air, Michael has agreed to, for the 50th, a game we grew up playing together since, as many people know, we are kin. We haven't decided the game yet, but Mike, would be great to have you on a game review.
I'm excited to do a game review. Something a little out of my realm, but I feel like I'm going to be awesome at it.
It's going to be fun time. Yeah. But that's something to look forward to, guys. The Cruiserweight Classic, and thank you, Sasha, again so much. You want to thank Sasha?
Thank you, Sasha.
I know you do.
So much.
So much.
So much.
Rusev?
You'll always be my favorite.
The Cruiserweight Classic, let's go ahead and wrap it up on that. I mean, I think it's
I picked Tajiri.
There you go. Or Brian Kendrick.
Tajiri.
Brian Kendrick has...
He's going to spray that green mist right in Zack Sabre Jr.'s face. Bam, 1, 2, 3.
There you go. You heard it here first, guys. If that happens, somebody owes you a cup of coffee. And then you just pour it out because you hate coffee. Yes. Somebody owes you a brewski.
But I love me some underdogs, and Tajiri is an underdog.
He looks the same, I gotta say. Like, he doesn't age.
Well, good for it. Well, he's Asian. Asians always age well.
What are you trying to say? What do you say about
I just said it. Asians age really well.
Well, they do. You're right.
I mean, look at Mr. Miyagi.
He's dead.
Yeah, well, he is now.
Pat
but
Morita.
all three of those movies, did he look any different in age?
Even the next Karate Kid with the girl?
Well, that was a really long time.
That was like 93. He looked the same, I was going to say.
Yeah,
he didn't really age.
I see. Asians? I wish I was Asian sometimes.
Sometimes.
We're not going to go over why it's sometimes not, but...
Well, hey, that's also...
You look at all the doctors and stuff now in this country. There's a lot of Asian doctors, and there's got to be something behind that.
Yeah. Well, you could just be completely paranoid about it.
No,
because there's plenty of white and Indian and black and all kinds of doctors. We're not going to go there on the podcast. We're going to
say it.
I know you're just saying,
and
but
Asian women, my God,
it's 2016. We gotta play it safe.
I love me some Asian women.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Love you. I know. Let's say Asuka, but there you go. Let's throw it back to the show with wrestling. You love some Asuka locks. You want her to?
I would love for her to put me in that.
Asuka lock your cock.
I want her to put it in deep.
The Cruiserweight Classic is, I think it's awesome what they're doing. Something's happened this year where, like, all the borders are down.
I don't like the
relationships between indies and WWE.
What I don't like is that it's on the WWE network.
Well, stop being cheap and get the network.
Well, no, how about we have a Cruiserweight match on Raw each week?
Well, I think
Or
that's
a few of them.
Well, I think when the brand split hits, I think there's going to be a
that,
title.
I feel like that would go over really well with some of this filler time that's being wasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you throw a Cruiserweight match in there, give them 10 minutes.
Instead of seeing Golden Truth.
Well, you don't have to have freaking Iron Man matches, but give them 10 minutes to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Give them more than the women. It seems like the women's
Get
division.
them some exposure on national television so that people can get behind them. But I guess they don't want all that because there's so many guys in it. And they're only going to, as soon as the tournament's over, half of them are gone.
And half stay.
Yeah.
And then half of those actually make it.
Yeah, if that.
But it's obviously it's a trial run, but I think the biggest winners in this are the fans for all the great matches we'll see out of it.
Do you feel like they're just trying to look for another Rey Mysterio since,
I know your
Kalisto didn't work out?
Your love for Kalisto also.
Yeah.
Do you think they've given up on Kalisto already?
I mean, have you seen him on...
I've seen him tagging. He actually won on the pre-show.
That was on the pre-show.
But they still won.
When you have to have a championship match on a pre-show, that tells you that your champion is not over.
But being on the pre-show and losing on the pre-show are two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, R-Truth loses on the pre-show. Fandango loses on the pre-show.
Damn shame.
And I hate to say this, breaks my heart. Tyler Breeze is in that category of losing on the pre-show. And that's pretty much
Dolph Ziggler has lost on the pre-show.
We've gone over this time and time again. It just makes me sick about Ziggler. Good matches with Corbin, though. I mean, shitty feud. Good matches.
Well,
Ziggler.
They got to put somebody in there that makes old Smiley Belly look good.
Ugh. Guys in Slam Pigs Podcast Facebook group, if you remember Ninja Turtles and you know Baron Corbin, you're welcome. But, yeah, that's the Cruiserweight Classic. It's going to be over the next couple weeks, and they're going to have like a 2-hour special like in NXT. But
thank you, Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha. Let's bring it down a little bit, guys.
So much.
Not to like take the wind out of everyone's sails that much. It's been 9 years, Michael. We've never talked about this on the show. The Chris Benoit murder-suicide, the anniversary, 9 years. Where were you? Do you remember where you were when you heard the news?
I actually didn't know about it till the next night on Raw.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I mean...
That was probably more of a punch in the stomach.
This was 9 years ago, so you figure that's 2007.
Yeah.
2007 was not a good year for me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of personal struggles back then. But I do remember the next night on Raw, before the show started, you had Vince on there telling that it was going to be I think you might even text me, and you might have been the first one to let me know about it, and then I watched the Raw and all that. But I think that's how I found out about it. Because back then, 2007, it's like I said, wasn't a great year for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching a whole lot of television. Didn't have a whole lot of privileges.
Well, over the years, I mean, do you believe the conspiracies? Do you think he really did it? I mean, let's get.
I've heard so many stories on YouTube and stuff, but it's always from the same people. You know what I mean? Like Dr. Death. You know what I mean? He's always one that thinks that Vince McMahon killed everybody.
Oh, that's Billy Jack Haynes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That shoot interview was, oh my God. Guys, check that out if you get around to it. It's a bunch of bullshit, but he's just lost his mind.
Yeah. But evidently Vince McMahon is like some sort of mob boss that can kill whoever he wants and gets away with it. OJ couldn't get away with it, so, I mean, he got away with the first one. But
apparently, according to Billy Jack Haynes, in this Chris Benoit situation, Vince loved Nancy or something, and Vince killed them, all of them, because he couldn't have her or something. But yeah, obviously the biggest tragedy in wrestling history besides Owen Hart.
Child and an innocent woman had to die because of some personal issues.
And all the reports of steroids and the lesions in the brain that they showed.
Horse tranquilizer.
Chris Nowinski, shout out the former wrestler. He was one of the doctors that taught. You remember that?
From Harvard.
Hey, you know what? I liked Chris Nowinski. I thought it had legs. What the fuck happened? He went to medical school. Got his shit together. Well, way to go.
There's no N in his name after the first letter.
You didn't like Nowinski, did you?
It's Nowitzki, not Nowinski.
It's Nowinski.
Okay?
It's Nowinski.
He's not on Tommy Boy. All right?
Did you like Chris Nowinski? Nowitzki?
Yes, thank you.
Nowitzki?
Yes.
It's Nowinski.
No, there's no N at the end.
Well, let us know, guys. Is it Nowinski or Nowitzki?
Christopher Nowitzki.
Snitsky. I want to take a
See?
shitski. It's Snitsky's.
I didn't like it.
All it did was like they just.
I remember him losing to Maven on Tough Enough, and then it just got worse.
You know, I said that. Now thinking about it, I'm like, I remember all the flashbacks coming to me, and I'm just cringing on. Why did I say that on the air? So can I take that back? Does everybody give?
I'll give you a 1.
All right. I remember him feuding with Scott Steiner or something all the time. I don't know why. Did that happen?
No, I remember when they had their one match with the Dudleys and they beat him. He was in a tag team with
Test?
Jax's boyfriend.
Jazz?
Jazz, yeah.
Rodney Mack?
Yes, he was in a tag team with them, and they were managed by Teddy Long.
Guys, please don't tune
Do you remember that team?
Yes. Oh, my God. That's Teddy Long, like, debuted. He wasn't a ref anymore.
Teddy Long was their manager.
Yep.
Player.
You know it's the Mac Militant. Yeah.
So
what the fuck are we talking about?
Christopher Nowitzki. Because he's the doctor behind the studies of
There you go.
of brain injuries in wrestling and such.
I thought you were being a smart aleck at first, like Christopher Nowitzki, but you're actually segueing it back, so thank you.
See that?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't need you. I'm just saying. I'm not, just unreliable on this show.
well, I need you.
I can do it all.
I play off of you. Thanks a lot, asshole. You talk about me.
See, always got
You can take Rusev and shove it up your ass.
Always got to play the victim.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh my God. Here we go.
He's always got to make himself out to be the nice person. I'm just big meanie.
Do you want a piece of paper?
Not blue meanie, big meanie.
Do you want a piece of paper?
No.
So you can write your own little list?
No.
The things that you want to do?
No.
Well, when you start putting in the work...
When I want to do something, I'll do it. I don't need to write it down and ask permission. Now get on with the show.
I don't even know what to say right now. I don't know where we just went. We went from Chris Benoit to sarcastic arguing. So, Slam Pigs Podcast.
Well, I'm sorry. It was such a
it
downer.
was a downer.
moment.
Yeah, we had to pick it
So
up.
I have to pick that up.
Let's go ahead and
I feel
just
like-
move on, but I felt like it needed to be brought up.
Yeah.
We've never brought that up on the show, but...
On to brighter and possibly funnier news.
Funny, hilarious news.
Our UFC news this week. CM Punk is finally scheduled to make his debut in the Octagon against Mickey Gull,
Hey, make it go!
who is 2-0 in his professional career, and this will be CM Punk's first ever professional fight. So I feel like this has been way, way too long for this to have finally happened. He's been out of WWE now for what? 2
years.
It's got to be pushing 3.
Royal Rumble 2014 was his last match. He left the next
So
day.
yeah, it's pushing 3. 2.5 years.
It's pushing.
But anyway, he's been supposed to have fought in the UFC long time ago, but injury
He has
after
low back
injury,
and
injury after injury after surgery, and he's finally making his debut. UFC
I'll say,
202.
I'll say one thing in his defense. If my wife was AJ Lee, I'd probably blow my back out all the time too. I'm just saying. I gotta say that.
Blow her back out.
Oh,
That's what I did.
there you have it.
Sorry.
Sorry.
This show is
Yeah.
not PG like WWE.
I feel like we're off this. I'm off this week a little bit, guys.
I feel-
I want to apologize, everybody. It's been a long, stressful week. Going on vacation, Michael, tomorrow.
I feel like the show's great. I don't feel like you're off.
Well, thank you, but I feel like I'm off, guys. Oh, and see, I burp on air, so.
Oh, that's all right.
Natty Bo is in the house.
You were blowing smoke out last week. Now you're burping.
Oh,
Rusev.
Rusev? Yeah, I don't know if... Way to drop that. Talk about me.
Dropped the ball on that one.
I think CM Punk's going to get his ass kicked. That's what I think is going to happen. Michael, are you in agreement?
Well, that gets me into segue. Travis, what is your prediction for this fight?
CM Punk's going to get his ass kicked.
Do you know anything about this guy he's fighting?
I have no clue, but I
All
know
right.
CM Punk has less experience than a guy with 2 fights.
Well, CM Punk has been training at the Gracie Gym in LA for quite a few years now.
CM Punk.
I believe he's earned his purple belt with the Gracies, which is actually pretty high up there on the jiu-jitsu food chain.
Here's my whole take, and I'll get it out there. My wrestler to MMA transition. With exceptions of guys like Lashley, Lesnar, who have collegiate backgrounds and are legit,
They're wrestlers.
but they're
This is
okay.
MMA, mixed martial arts.
And then they're NCAA level wrestlers, and then, they learn to spar too, and odds are they're good or they're not. Brock is special.
Well,
He's one of a kind.
An elite athlete.
He picked it up fast. I'm sure Angle could get it. He's just too beaten up.
I mean,
Lashley,
You think about Lesnar, though. Did he really have a good stand-up game? Has he ever really had? Not really.
Didn't need to. All his knockouts came on the ground.
I mean, he has one punch right hand power, but I wouldn't exactly classify him as an upper level stand up guy. I don't think he's really progressed that much on his feet.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, though, I don't think CM Punk...
And Lashley is a big snooze fest in the Octagon. All he does is take people down. He has zero stand up, and he's been in MMA for years now.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much he's fighting anymore because with the TNA thing. But Lashley,
it's
that's why he was never brought up to UFC.
Did he go to Strikeforce?
He was in Strikeforce, yep, and he was in Bellator. He was actually, top talent there, but his fights just weren't entertaining. All it was him laying on top of people and throwing a couple punches.
Not as entertaining as the real Strikeforce.
Yeah, I mean,
Rick Martel and Tito Santana.
Oh yeah, good shit. Terrible music.
Yeah, girls.
The most generic music. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
bomber jackets.
Bobby Lashley. That's why he's never been to UFC because Dana White
didn't have a bomber jacket.
Well, no, because he's just not entertaining in the ring at all. Because just like in WWE, it's boring. Yeah. He takes people down, lays on top of them, doesn't finish them, and squeaks out decisions every time.
He doesn't rip out their spinal cord.
For somebody that jacked, his punches must be pretty fucking weak.
True.
So
yeah, might have a glass straw.
Probably why he learned to wrestle.
I think CM Punk's going to lose. He's only trained in performance. So
the cool thing about I think it would actually work out better for him if he did lose.
Well, when I say that, then
because if he wins, then everybody's going to want to see him fight again. And
okay.
It might take another 2 years for that.
My take on it is he's in his do or die right now. It is do or die. He's either going to prove everybody right or prove everybody wrong. So it's kind of like you can't...
He's talked a lot of shit for a lot of... I remember when he was asked the question who would win in the UFC, you or Brock. And he said he would.
Yeah.
Because his jiu-jitsu is so good.
Hilarious. That's fucking hilarious.
You're 170 pounds.
And you have no proven background. That's my biggest thing. He
Brock
has nothing.
Lesnar is
I've seen some clips of him train... Sorry to cut you off. Good.
He's 170 pounds. Brock Lesnar's 265 pounds. Brock Lesnar is an NCAA national champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have no proven background in any style of fighting other than taking some jiu-jitsu classes with the Gracies.
And the last thing you want to do is talk shit. I know it's UFC and they encourage these guys to talk shit to make it entertaining at the same time, but a guy that's only ever cut promos his whole career, I'm sure had no problems agreeing to do that.
No, absolutely not.
What do you think, Michael? Do you think Punk's getting his ass kicked, or you think Punk's kicking some ass?
Couple haters.
Couple Vedas.
But, I don't know, man. I haven't seen this Mickey Gull live or anything. I don't know his game.
I'll throw in one little point real quick. Do you think it's a situation then to help with your answer?
I have a question back to you once you're finished about this subject.
Do you think they threw Mickey Gull to him because he's not very good? That's
kind of the question I was going to throw you. I was like, do you really think Dana White would put him in there with somebody that was going to beat him?
Yeah.
Or supposed to beat him? Like, Mickey Gull's 2-0 in his career, but we don't know anything about him. Like, where has he trained? What has he done? How long has he been training?
We also don't really know how much is fixed. Possibly. Like the speculation in boxing for decades,
Well, we know boxing has been fixed before.
Right.
But they always make it back to be like some old-time thing back in the 50s, with the mob running rampant.
You know what was the most hilarious boxer? Do you remember Little Chief? The guy that wore the Indian headdress, and he was like a little red... He wasn't even Indian. He was a white, redheaded guy with a mustache.
No.
He boxed in like the 60s or something. Little Chief.
No.
He's in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
It's
Never
crazy.
heard of him.
But...
Probably because he wore that.
But, what do you guys think about the CM Punk fight coming up? I'm sure we're going to review it when it happens, because everyone's going to see that.
Oh, yeah. UFC 202.
We still got 201 to get through. And 200. The big one. The big one.
Brock makes his return to the Octagon.
You talk about pieces of... I don't know. We have different opinions on this, I think, because we talked a little about it off the air. the whole Jimmy Snuka murder trial we've covered in the past couple weeks. He's been booked by the guys at WrestleCon to appear at autograph signing with a bunch of other legends. A lot of people up in arms about this. I think this is just in bad taste. Man, he's in the midst of a murder trial, and you're booking him for money. He has to...
Probably needs some money.
It's just...
Lawyers ain't cheap.
You just don't do that. I think it makes the WrestleCon guys look bad. I think it's just bad business. But, Michael, what's your 2 cents?
Well, I'm all for not judging somebody until they're found guilty. So, if it's taken this long to file charges, I don't know what kind of case they have against him. I don't know what kind of evidence is there. So I'm not going to judge him as far as what he's going through personally right now. As far as a PR thing, booking him to do appearances and stuff, I'm in agreement with you. I don't think he should be appearing anywhere.
Classless.
Yeah, especially while he's in the midst of a murder trial.
So let me get this straight, guys, at WrestleCon. I'll call WrestleCon out on the air right now because we don't give a fuck. Bring it.
Come get some.
But you're promoting a guy in an event who children will bring pictures to get an autograph fund who could be a potential murderer.
Could you imagine how that goes over? Hey, Mommy, who's that? Oh, that's Jimmy Snuka. He killed his girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that...
I'm sorry to laugh.
It's the same feeling I have with Roman Reigns. Like, hey, Mommy, can we go get Roman Reigns' autograph? No,
Well,
he's a druggie.
Okay, then all of our heroes as kids are druggies. Everyone was doing cocaine in the 80s and steroids and all that shit.
Yes, but
You can't compare murdering
We didn't know that, though. We know that Roman Reigns is suspended because of the age that we live in with social media. We didn't know what wrestlers were doing back then because we were kids, for one, and two, we didn't have the internet, and three, they were portrayed to be nothing but wholesome, wonderful people, and except for the heels that were portrayed to be total pricks.
I'm pretty sure I knew Brian Pillman was a drug addict when he did the...
Well, that wasn't back then. I'm talking about like Hogan era,
Right.
or like 80s.
You know, when I was a kid, something about Randy Savage just was off about me. Like, I was kind of like...
Ooh, yeah.
After a while, when he did the rodeo clown outfit, I was kind of like... even as a kid, I was like, I don't like this. I liked him in the little undies.
You liked him in the sequins.
In the sequins with Lil Liz.
With Liz.
Not 92 Liz.
Yeah,
where
you liked him 88.
I didn't like crying Liz.
You like him when he was champ 88?
My favorite Macho Man
Powers.
is that episode of Saturday Night's Main Event where the Hearts are holding Mach. And Honky's gonna hit him with the guitar, and Liz steps in the middle, and she runs back and gets Hogan. That's my Liz. I like.
So that's your favorite Savage, getting the ever-loving shit beat out of him.
No, my favorite Liz. Keep up.
Well, you were saying what your favorite Savage was. I was asking
Well, then it
you
transitioned to Liz. We're all over the place on this podcast,
I was just
man.
saying, my favorite Savage is when he held the belt the first time.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna throw it to you. Where can they find this podcast, Michael?
Oh, live on Hibiki TMD.
Live, baby, live.
On YouTube, or the Slam Pigs Podcast on Facebook, or Twitter, which I am not a member of. Sorry, one of the few, the proud non-Twitterers.
He doesn't do the twatter. He doesn't.
I don't like it. It's just too much for me.
Well, I love
think Facebook is enough.
Twitter's brought us
When you're a big star
fans.
like I am, you don't have time for both.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many friends on Facebook, and it's just hard to answer all their questions, and then all the Twitter feed and all that stuff.
Guys, I really apologize for that comment, and I can't believe that you just said something so egotistical.
What's egotistical?
You think you're God's gift to the world.
See, that's how you portray it.
That you just
Once again, I'm not a judgmental person, but here you go again, judging.
Huh. Well, you sat here on air. It's documented. It's Memorex. It ain't live. Play it back. You said, I'm too big of a star to be on Twitter. Is that not egotistical?
How's that egotistical? I'm just speaking the truth.
Your definition of
Nobody
the truth...
listens to this show to listen to you. They come here for the meat and potatoes. That's me.
I don't think anyone's listening now to begin
You're
with.
the
I think
vegetable.
they've turned us off for your vanity.
You're the
little Lex Luger narcissist vanity.
You're the vegetables in the dinner, all right? I'm the meat and potatoes.
Here's my middle finger. Speaking of Lex Luger being a narcissist, I'm going to go, look at it, look at it, look at it!
For those of you who don't know, Mr. Wholesome, Mr. Nice Guy, Travis here, just flipped me off.
I told them
Tell your kids about that.
I literally took 3 seconds ahead and I
Yeah.
said, here's my middle finger.
good.
It didn't hold it up for
I just wanted them to know.
They knew is what I'm
Well,
saying.
good. I was just double checking.
You're double dipping.
Well, good.
Ugh. Rusev?
Rusev.
That's the news this week, Michael.
Rusev. That's the news?
What's up with Rusev? What's he been up to? He wrestled Titus O'Neil on Raw, and I feel like we have a Rusev mention every week now. We might as well have a Rusev segment.
And Titus O'Neil won by countout.
Please, I'm not serious when I say that, by the way.
Yeah, Titus beat him by countout.
Great.
Congratulations to Titus O'Neil.
Congratulations, WWE, for wasting your time for watching.
Also,
that.
the return of Kane. We didn't go over that on Raw.
Oh, yeah. Good. Shit.
Yeah.
All
Even
this-
posted a thing on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Trying to be a funny guy.
Well, we had our guest on at the time, and we had to deal with some audio issues, and I was kind of multitasking.
And he was
but-
cutting me off.
Will you stop it? I'm not going to tell you again. Just calm down a little bit.
I'm just saying.
The only guest you've treated with respect has been Corey the Bagel Guy. We have not shouted out Corey the Bagel Guy either.
Hey, Corey. Like you.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you so much. Again, man, people love the Bagel Guy, man. No, he's not an indie wrestler, by the way, Mary.
He's
Hatcher.
not an indie manager, anything like that. We
Just a
just
good
know
guy.
him. Yep, Travis knows him from
God knows when.
teenage years.
Old school is cool.
Yep. Mary Hatcher, you made a comment as well. I'm glad to know that you are British because your name is very British. Mary Hatcher, you think of, like, does that name not sound British?
I think of Mary Poppins. I hate to say it. Mary Poppins with the British.
Yeah, I mean, I know who Mary Poppins is, but Mary Hatcher is definitely like a British name.
She probably hates me more than you now because I said that
Feel like
comment.
your name being Benjamin Smith.
That's a guy that I know on Facebook.
I'm just saying. But
There is a Benjamin Smith on my Facebook.
is he British?
On my Facebook.
Is he British?
He's American.
Oh, American. But Mary, I don't want to get you.
American!
I don't want to get you all riled up or anything. You didn't ask a question this week. I'm hoping it's not because you think I hate all British people.
Maybe she's a little spent. She's asked a question for like, what, a month straight?
Well, I do not hate all British people. I just do not like British people named Lee.
I haven't heard from Lee myself in a couple days, so maybe it's because of you. Huh. Just kidding. Talk to Lee all the time. No, I don't.
Lee's been silent lately.
Lee's been going into a little bit of silence.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of some asshole always putting him down. I don't know who that could be.
Well, he's part of the Facebook group.
He's part of the well, does that mean you got to treat him like shit?
I think I'm treating him quite fairly.
Your definitions are just way off about words.
Hey.
Do you know what words mean?
Hey, opinions.
What they do?
Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
Some have two.
Two assholes?
There were people born with two buttholes.
That's-
Like, it's up at their stomach.
Okay.
Okay,
That's-
let's move on a little bit.
It's a little yuck.
That's the news this week, guys.
Ugh.
Michael looks like he wants to throw up.
I feel like it.
You don't want to put some Grey Poupon in
No.
there and dip a cracker in it?
No. Alfred Hayes.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
See? Once again.
They paid him for like 6 years just to do that sound clip.
Another British person that I could not stand.
He was a bad commentator. I just liked when he said the promotional
Have
consideration.
you ever watched the botch videos of his commentating?
Yes.
And
I don't have to watch a botch video. I'll just watch any match commentated by Alfred Hayes. It's pretty much, it's bad. Like, that's our late suplex, gorilla. Oh, that's an interesting maneuver. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He was a wrestler.
Well, the Hearts, they are really trying to really show
Oh,
their
God.
prowess here.
Oh, God.
And they think that they have the Killer Bees really on the defensive here.
There was, remember Rod Trongard?
Yeah.
The other guy that did the
Yeah.
house show or whatever,
Yeah.
the MSG shows? Bad.
Yeah.
He was an AWA announcer.
Poor
Speaking of the AWA, Super Clash 3, the whole pay-per-view's on the network now with Kerry Von Erich and Jerry
You
Lawler.
excited?
No, it's weird because it's rated TVMA
Why?
because of the blood. How pussyfied is that? I was like, there's no tits on this, so why?
There's no bleeding.
It's not Game of Thrones, for Christ's sake. You ever watch that?
There's bleeding, so.
Every time I turn on fucking Game of Thrones, it's rape. It's a rape scene. I just can't get into
So you
it.
have to be mature to see blood.
Apparently. Millennials.
Because children don't bleed.
It's these goddamn millennials.
Yeah, it's just not acceptable.
They don't want to accept rape.
I wonder why they're not having the intergender matches anymore.
Huh. Because of Bruce Jenner? No.
Or because of the domestic violence issues. Domestic violence is just too big right now. We can't have mixed tag matches.
Well, that's a good way to just get it out of the way and say, we're going to go to a promo break because I've got nothing. I've hit the wall. And it's my turn. a loud clap.
It is your turn.
I didn't mean to clap that loud.
It's your turn. Plus, we have match of the week.
I want to do a silly one.
It's your turn for match of the week.
It's my turn again?
Yeah.
I feel like every show needs a silly promo and a good promo.
All right.
My silly promo this week on the Slam Pigs podcast
Silly Nilly.
is from the Birdman, Coco Beware.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Frankie or no Frankie?
I'm not going to do a silly promo. I want to do a good promo because that's why you guys listen. What?
Sorry, I'm allergic.
He's gonna puke.
I'm allergic to shitty promos.
I'll never mention Coco Beware.
Thank you.
Or TNA on the show again.
Ugh.
Once again, Lee.
See what it did to me?
Did you watch Slammiversary? TNA Slammiversary, like for Lee's little question, 2 weeks ago.
No.
I didn't either. Sorry.
That could be why he's not talking to us.
Sorry, man. I can't do it. I don't think I can do it.
Slammiversary, Lee. In the future, please, all TNA questions that are not, like
From the good TNA days.
Yeah, we can't really answer those for
'Cause
you.
we don't
have
watch-
access to it like you do.
And guys, please
TNA is much more televised over in jolly old England than it is here now because
it's on Pop TV now.
we don't even have that channel.
Yeah, we don't have that here where we live.
So we don't get to see a whole lot of TNA unless we wanted to watch it on YouTube.
Mom, can I watch TNA on Pop TV? But yeah.
I want to go for the butterfly belt.
We don't even have Ring of Honor, and that pisses me off. I don't have it.
Yeah, you do. It's on public television late at night.
Not that one. I'm talking about on the Fight Network. It's on.
Oh.
After New Japan, I don't get to watch fucking New Japan either. Bummer. Bullshit. Sucked. Sorry, guys.
Shout out to Pat Patterson.
Yeah, shout out to Pat Patterson. But my promo break this week is from the awesome, talented, stunning Steve Austin.
Stunning Steve. Huh?
WCW Austin. I think he was underrated. I think he doesn't get
You
enough
like
credit.
these promos back then? Now, is this Stunning Steve by himself or Hollywood Blonde Steve?
This isn't Hollywood Blonde Steve.
All right.
This is stunning Steve Austin by himself.
Oh, you didn't want to do one of his Ringmaster promos? Sorry, I tried.
On the Slam Pigs podcast.
Everyone knows that Barry Windham is one of the finest wrestlers in the world today. But these same people also know that Stunning Steve Austin is one of the finest wrestlers in the world today. And it seems Steve Austin has gained some attention also by making predictions. I made the prediction when I entered WCW that I would become the World Television Champion. I'm making another prediction. In Chicago, Illinois, I'll take the title from Barry Windham.
And that was stunning Steve Austin, Michael. Not Stone Cold, not the Ringmaster, not Potato Salad.
Hot dog.
Hot dog. That was stunning Steve Austin. Underrated promo guy at the time. I think that's the reason he didn't break through to ECW, but I thought he cut good promos. Good enough for me to randomly pick him for the promo.
Not a great haircut, but
Not a great haircut.
he went from the long locks to the bowl cut thing. I don't know. Was that a bowl cut or was that just?
It was like a mushroom tip.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into a whole hairstyle segment again, are we?
No, I guess not.
Not today.
All right.
This week's match of the week.
Your turn.
I'm up to bat, and I got a goodie, and I know you'll appreciate it. I'm sure you fondly remember it like I do. It's a tag team title match. Happened in 1990. 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, I know what you're going at.
You had Demolition. Now a threesome. Not that kind of threesome. But now it's Crush, Axe, and Smash. Smash is kind of sexual sounding, too, I gotta admit.
Yeah. I think Crush kind of sounds a little sexual, too.
The fact that there was a wrestler named Smash in 2016, like looking back, if they would have only known what it would become to say smash somebody.
Yeah.
Demolition. I didn't like the 3-piece. I liked my Demolition.
Well, Axe had his heart problems, so.
Yeah, and they didn't get along either, from what I remember. Managed by managed by Fuji again. Fuji came back.
Fujimoto.
Against the Hart Foundation, the challengers, fresh off their win at WrestleMania 6 in clean fashion. Pretty decisive
Squash fashion.
Squash fashion.
It was in like 10 seconds. Or it was like 30-second match.
Squash fashion. It's all
Yeah.
clothes made out of squashes.
Ew.
Whole ring attire made of squash jacket.
Ew. I mean, I like squash to an extent, but Jesus.
I mean, you could dry it out.
You're
and
overdoing the squash.
Yeah. But
Stop it. We're not having shish kebabs here.
I think the words, I could go for a shish kebab right now. They're just delicious. Some shrimp. Shrimp on the barbie. Go ahead and say it.
Shrimp on the barbie.
But yeah. First word that comes to my mind when I think of this tag match is textbook. This is a textbook, like, awesome tag match. When you think of a great old school psychology-wise a way to tell a story, you had interference from LOD, but it was done well at the time.
Yeah.
You didn't see a lot of that on pay-per-view costing time.
And you didn't think that the Hearts were really going to win, did you? I think that's what kind of made it.
Yeah, because you thought they were going to set up Demolition in the Legion of Doom.
Which, was supposed to happen.
It happened, but it happened on, like, Superstars or Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah, it happened on a Saturday Night's Main Event, and it was very underwhelming.
And at WrestleMania 7 the next year, Demolition was wrestling those Japanese guys, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, WrestleMania 7.
Yeah.
We haven't had a show in the background in the studio here lately.
No.
A little class. I think we ran out of the VHS tapes.
We didn't run out.
As far as wrestling,
No, we haven't ran out.
I think we have.
You got to go through some boxes.
God knows we'll find. Could watch Rudy.
Maybe find some Rumble 96.
But yeah, great match. Like I said, told a great story. Michael, your thoughts on this match? What it meant to you? Do you think it's like the definition of a great old school tag match?
A 2 out of 3 falls match. It had its twists and turns. I don't know that, like I said before, I don't think a whole lot of people expected the Hearts to win and take the belts. Demolition was just on a run here where you thought they were going to hold it and then have a title match with LOD, who were making their debuts, but it didn't happen. The Hearts win. Pretty clean. And
the interference from LOD, but
yeah, but
they got a clean win earlier.
Had nothing to do with the other 2 falls.
Right.
So
you saw Demolition's finisher and you saw the Hearts finisher in this match.
Yeah.
Both awesome tag finishers, 2 of my favorites.
And the Hearts finisher was very simple.
Yeah.
But
so was Demolition's.
Yeah.
Demolitions just look nasty.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you come off that rope like that and their bodies just move a certain way, it's like, ooh.
Well, at least they had a strong dude like Axe.
Yeah. I mean, the Hearts finisher was way more simple, but it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looked like, oh, that's it.
Anvil could pretty much get anyone up except like the Colossal connection.
Well, you could get Haku up.
The Colostomy connection. He get Haku up.
Yeah. Haku's like
Twin Towers. Could he get Twin Towers up? And
ooh. Which one's he lifting?
Speaking of names looking on in the future, the naming teams, Twin Towers, I don't think they would have predicted what that would be.
Yeah.
Smash in the Twin Towers.
Oof. Don't put those together.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
But that's my match of the week, guys. I loved it. Loved I could watch that match every day.
Hearts win. They win the belts.
Hearts win. That crowd went fucking nuts.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was surprise factor more than anything.
They had a nice little run. They held it against the Nasties at WrestleMania 7.
Yep, WrestleMania 7.
That was a good couple months back.
That was when Brett finally got his singles push after that. That was their last match as a tag team.
Well, speaking of
on
push. On pay-per-view, speaking of push, it's time for this week's Push or D-Push.
Push or D-Push.
Push or D-Push. Michael, would you like me to do it this week, or because I don't remember who started it last week?
We
had the bagel guy.
The bagel guy did it last week.
You want to take it since I did match of the week, or you want me to do push?
I can take it. I can take this fucking shit.
Can you take it?
Yeah.
You're gonna take it.
Ew.
I couldn't resist that.
That's awful.
That's pretty awful. Just rancid. It smells like tuna.
Ooh.
Thought of it. Shout out to Laura, our former coworker.
My push or D-Push this week is for somebody that's not even in the company yet. My push or D-Push, Kurt Angle.
Why would they bring him in to D-push him? To punish him? I wish, the parts like that on the show I wish were on video. Is that little...
to punish him?
No, the motion you did, where you go. Slowly raise the hand of justice. I would definitely push him. I'd put him with Jordan Gable.
That's a push to you?
If Jordan and Gable were dominant with the belts, and are in main event scenarios... like
in NXT?
On the main roster, of course.
you see Jordan and Gable being dominant on the main roster.
I can. I think they're a great, believable, legit tag team. And I'm sure a lot of our lovely listeners agree with me on that.
Yeah, but Mike skills.
They're not bad at all. What have you seen?
What's entertaining about them on the microphone?
What have you seen?
I've seen some of their interviews, and it's very
Weren't impressed.
generic.
I like the Ready, Willing, and Gable. I think that's... I just like them. I think they're really good. They don't have to cut good promos. They're one of those teams. You know what I mean? And I think they got a guy like Angle who can cut promos with them. Gold. Olympic gold.
That to me does not constitute a push. I'm talking about as a worker.
He's not a worker anymore. Though you can't view Kurt Angle as a full-time guy. You can't put him in a title scenario and be
Why?
part-time.
Brock is.
That pissed everybody off when Brock was part-time champion. Remember? Because I do. Everyone was pissed that the champ wasn't on pay-per-views. You know what I mean?
They weren't mad when he beat Cena.
I just don't want to go. And now they're going to have 2 world titles, so
Yeah.
maybe you could do that with 1. That's something we didn't talk about either. Apparently there's going to be 2 world titles. Sorry to bring that so late up in the show.
The draft, July 19th, coming up in a couple weeks. So, I mean, we may even do a roster prediction show. Or we could do our top 10 picks again.
A little draft preview.
We did top 5, I believe, before. We could extend it to 10.
That'd be a little special side episode, maybe.
Yeah.
Draft
We already
special.
did our top 5 for
Slam
the draft.
Pig special. Draft 2016. Maybe that's something to do in the future. We'd have to set aside another night because I could imagine doing that in the podcast.
Well, I know we both already did our top 5s, but let's extend it.
Maybe we can do that via audio over the phone.
Could.
Shout out to my other podcast. That's
Yeah.
how I did it with my buddy Adam. Thank you for doing the podcast with me once again, Michael. Let's go ahead and get this last plug in for the channel before we get Push the D-Push out of the way. Hibiki TMD, make sure to hit that like. Feel free to comment. We're the most interactive pro wrestling show on the internet.
By far.
And the cockiest, apparently,
What?
from things you've said tonight. Would you like to apologize to me, our listeners?
What do you mean by cockiest?
Claiming you're too big of a star to be on Twitter.
Oh.
That cut.
See, I thought you were taking it somewhere else. I mean, I was going to agree.
Will you stop?
Huh?
Why does it always got to go there?
Well, why does it always have to not go there?
Huh. Push or D-Push? Michael. Fuck it, you take it.
Push or D-Push, we already went through this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I apologize
Kurt
earlier
Angle.
for being It's late in the show.
You want to push him to be a manager, evidently. I would push
And a
him.
part-time worker.
I would push him to be a single star, once again. A part-time single star, just like Lesnar. Maybe hold the belt for a little while, just to put somebody over. Work special events, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Rumble, etc.
Would you put Jordan and Gable on their own too? A little subdivision of the Push D-Push.
I mean, I would put Jordan and Gable with him, but I wouldn't make them the focal point.
No, I wouldn't make him the focal point.
I would make Angle the focal point of that group, not them.
I think their talent's so good in the ring that they wouldn't have a problem.
I mean, I could see him holding the world title on SmackDown while they held the tag belts.
Yeah. A
me,
little
that-
dynasty.
To me, that would be the extent of it.
They did that on SmackDown back in the day, didn't they? They all had the belt?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or I thought that, who knows?
Well, I know
Who cares?
JBL and Orlando Jordan were like buddies, and Orlando Jordan was U.S. champ, and JBL was WWE champ.
Talk about dark days. The Orlando Jordan JBL stable with the Basham brothers.
Yep, that happened.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay, me either. Well, guys, that's on that note. Do we want to go out like that on the Basham brothers? And
No, that's probably not right.
yeah.
Think of something good.
You got anything else for
Come
us?
on.
What, where am I
Think
going?
of fucking something.
Why don't you think of something, hot
Christ.
shot?
I always gotta think of everything around this
Did you
mother.
fire that fucking pigskin?
I fire a lot of skin.
You see this list? Me,
Yeah.
baby.
All 6 things.
And that
Congratulations.
we've gone over an
That
hour.
probably took you a week.
It kind of did.
Yeah, I bet you it did.
Yeah, it did. It'd come to me because I'm a busy man. I'm all over the place on
Uh-huh.
social media.
Oh,
on
now
YouTube.
who's cocky?
I didn't say I'm cocky.
Oh, I'm a busy man. I'm all over the place. I'm Mr. Fucking Hotshot in here.
I know, but you put extras on it. You put a little
I only
tidbit
have-
on the end of it.
I only have time to do a little teeny tiny show with you once a week.
All things I didn't say.
Oh.
The only things that I said were facts. I am a busy person. I do a lot of stuff. I'm sorry that I took the time in my life.
His schedule's so busy, he's going to an amusement park tomorrow.
Hey, it's vacation time with the kiddies.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
You're such a busy man. I don't know how you found that in your schedule.
I have to take a vacation. I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Oh, okay.
Because, guys, 3 kids and 6 pets.
So riding the Comet's just going to take all your problems wash them away.
I don't even like the Comet. Shout out to Hershey Park. I'm going to Hershey Park tomorrow, guys.
That's in Pennsylvania.
Well, you just told everyone where we live.
Hershey, Pennsylvania. We don't live in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Well, now if we have a stalker, we're dead.
Hey, we have a Facebook group, and if they go to either one of our pages, they're going to figure out where we live.
What if they don't have a Facebook and they're stalkers anyway, and they just listen to our show, and they only have the show to go by,
They would be.
It was that one crazy person out Pennsylvania.
So they're going to think we live in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is way off.
Well,
yeah,
touche.
Yeah.
You're
welcome.
That's all I got this week, guys. I got to wrap it up myself.
God bless you.
Yeah, it was lackluster on my part this week. I'll be in better form next week.
It's one thing.
What are you about to yell at me for? I thought you were about to like go, you're a fucking piece of shit. God.
Well, I mean, if you're self-conscious about that,
I'm not.
That has nothing to do with me.
It kind of threw me back.
Talk about words being put in somebody's mouth.
You just got that Ricky Morton fire just hit you.
You bitched earlier. You bitched because I didn't have it earlier. Now I'm getting it, and you're bitching.
Because you're getting it when I've got the Robert Gibson.
I already have one.
I got the Robert Gibson lazy eye, and you got the Ricky Morton fire.
I got one emotional person at home that I can go to. She's pregnant, and she hates everything. I don't need it from you. All right?
Mine hates everything, too.
She's not pregnant, which makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah. My damage has been done.
Ugh.
I've had my kids I'm having, and I'm where I'm at. Welcome
People,
to the club. Hold the mayo.
You know how hard it's going to be to raise this little guy?
It's not that hard. If your heart and soul's into it, and
he's anything like me, it's not going to be easy at all. Like the Queen of Diamonds, Dottie Henson, you're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose. I love it. They're gonna lose out if they don't check out the Slam Pigs podcast on Twitter and the Hibiki TMD on Twitter. Also, make sure to subscribe. If you're listening to us on Hibiki TMD, always feel free to comment, Michael. We're the most
interactive podcast on the internet by far. And don't forget that Facebook group we like to call the Slam Pigs Podcast. Live on Facebook. We're gonna have more videos coming up this week. Please make sure to check us out. As always, thank you for listening. Come back and see us and hear us next week live here on the Slam Pigs Podcast.
We'll see you guys. Have a great week. I'm going on vacation.
This is Slam Pigs Podcast.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Hibiki TMD Facebook group for everything retro gaming, pro wrestling podcasts, and everything in between. Thanks for watching another video, and thanks for stopping by on Hibiki TMD.
Hey, what is going on here?